Hello, welcome back to Simon's Rants. I'm Simon, and today I'm giving my on-second thought on Doing Time on Maple Drive. Now, if you haven't seen this yet, but you probably haven't even heard of it, you should go watch it, come back, and we'll talk about it then. So if you haven't heard of it, it is a 1992 TV movie that had Jim Carrey not as the main character, but the brother of the main character. The plot of the film follows a very proud family with 2 parents and 3 kids. Jim Carrey, who was the golden child, loses that right because he dropped out of college and became an alcoholic. The sister of the main character is also not the golden child anymore because she married somebody that their parents didn't like. And then the third child, who is a current golden child, is in danger of losing that because he is in the closet and doesn't want his parents to know because he knows they're going to freak out. So this movie is very dramatic and very impactful. It's actually got surprisingly good writing and acting for a TV movie. Especially Jim Carrey, he stands out in his dramatic performance. And a lot of people surprisingly don't know how good of a dramatic actor Jim Carrey is. And a lot of people that do know that he's a good dramatic actor think that it started later with The Truman Show, but it actually started with Doing Time on Maple Drive. Now, like I said, he's not the main character or anything, but I do believe that he stood out as the best actor there, which makes sense because he's the only one who became a big name actor after this. But that's not to say that the rest of the acting is bad. There's actually some good performances in there, especially the father character who's played by James Secking. So as you can imagine, the lies and the secrecy that's holding this family together eventually come unraveled, and so do the family. And I think that's shown extremely well through all the different moving parts of this film. Not only is the sister married to somebody that the parents don't like, she's now pregnant and is debating getting rid of the baby because they're afraid of what the parents might think. And along with the main character worrying about trying to stay in the closet, he's trying to go through with the wedding just to appease his family. But then his fiancée finds out, so then she leaves him, but they don't want anybody else to know, so it's all extremely convoluted and hard to keep under wraps. By the end of the film, there isn't necessarily a bad guy. There's still a family trying to make it work together, even though there's definitely disagreements there. This isn't a perfect ending. It's not a happy ending. If you've seen it, you know. Some people understand, some people don't, and they're at odds. And that's the beauty of this movie, is it's just showing real life. And it's very realistic, it's very well made, and the acting is surprisingly good in this TV movie. If you haven't seen it, you definitely should, especially if you're a Jim Carrey fan, because this is a diamond in the rough. I bought this movie a few years back thinking that it would be fun in the same way Once Bitten or Earth Girls Are Easy was. Seeing an inexperienced Jim Carrey try to figure it out in a role, but honestly, that wasn't it. This movie was just good. I'm not saying that if it had been released in theaters, it would have been a blockbuster or received any kind of awards or anything like that, but it is a legitimately good movie. And Jim Carrey was still a young actor in this movie. This wasn't him at his best or anything like that, but he was definitely a lot better than I expected, considering that his next movie was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and his acting in that was less than amazing. But this did prove that he was a legitimately talented actor that just needed the right kind of outlet to show it. But it does make sense that he didn't get a whole lot of attention for this performance. This movie came out in the middle of his run on In Living Color and was completely different than anybody was expecting or probably wanted from him at that time. People wanted Fire Marshal Bill or what would become Ace Ventura or something like that, but instead they got a dramatic, nuanced performance about a depressed alcoholic trying to live up to expectations that were far too high for him. And the whole movie's about that, these expectations and how they destroy people. So if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. It's a hidden gem that I recommend to so many people. In fact, everybody should watch this if you haven't. Jim Carrey fan or not, it's good. And if you are a Jim Carrey fan, that's just an extra bonus. So that's what I had to think of it. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. Also, don't forget to like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.